These are some of my daily non-negotiables as a health and wellness girly who runs a very strict program. I've been following these habits for the past 5-6 years. So yes, I was considered the boring friend during high school, but I never cared, and look where it led me. Starting off strong, you will never catch my phone not on sleep mode after 8 p.m. on weekdays. I take this very seriously, sometimes a little too seriously, but at the end of the day, it always works in my favor, which sounds a little bit selfish, but at the same time, if I'm not pouring into myself 110%, how am I going to be able to be the best version of myself the next day, the day after, and so on and so forth? How am I supposed to feel my best to be able to be my best for myself and towards other people? Which is pretty much the whole rationale behind all these habits that I've been following for all these years. And I always try to be asleep by 9:30, latest 10 o'clock on weekdays. This leads me into my second habit, which is I always wake up early, and they just go hand in hand, because if I sleep early, I'm gonna wake up early. And I also sleep early because I'm a morning person. So on weekdays, I always like to make sure I wake up between 4:30 and 5:40 a.m. I've been doing this for so long, and I don't force myself to wake up early. It's honestly my natural body clock. I've been waking up before 6 a.m. or by 6 a.m. since I was like 5 years old. And you're probably thinking, what is a 5-year-old doing awake voluntarily before 6 a.m.? Watching cartoons. Obviously, I don't do that now. On the weekends, I do give myself time to sleep in, but then again, the time I wake up, or what I consider my personal sleep in, would be diabolical for, I feel like, majority of people. My personal version of a sleep in is between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. Again, that's just my natural body clock. I'm 21 and I can count on one hand the amount of times I've woken up after 8 a.m. But being jet lagged is obviously excluded. Which also leads me into my third point. I do not touch any device within the first at least 30 to 60, even better, 90 minutes of waking up. I work on my devices. This is a little bit hard, especially when some of my team are overseas. They will be responding to my messages and emails overnight, and then if it's something extremely important, I have to look at it first thing in the morning. That is the only exception. Another exception is any emergency contacts that have contacted me whilst my phone was on sleep mode. The very first thing I do when I wake up is I pray, I go to my Bible study, I drink my tea, I drink my bone broth, then I go to the gym. The fourth habit also ties into the previous one about devices. I don't doom scroll. I try to limit myself from scrolling. I always try to create more than I consume. I'm a business owner and I also create content on my personal page, so I'm creating content 24/7. My mind is always in creation mode, which works in my favor because the last thing I do, especially on weekdays, is crave a doom scrolling session. Those are just some of the habits and tips and tricks that I've implemented into my life ever since I was about 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. And my life has never been so productive, so much more enjoyable. I feel my best, I operate my best. And the most important part of it all, I am my healthiest. Let me know if you would like me to do a part 2.